All right, let's dive into one of the most incredible times in a pregnancy, the second trimester. People often call it the golden phase, and for good reason. It's this amazing bridge between the very quiet, hidden start of the first trimester and, well, the heavy reality of the third. So let's explore what makes this time so special.
And for so many moms to be, this is spot on. That awful morning sickness, hopefully it's starting to fade. You're getting your energy back, and there's even that famous pregnancy glow, which is a real thing, by the way. It's all thanks to increased blood flow. It's really a time where you can start to feel good again.
But that's just what's happening on the outside, right? The real story, the one we're going to get into today, is what's happening inside. Because while this phase is famous for how mom feels, it's also a time of just unbelievably rapid development for the baby. We're talking everything from the very first kick to senses forming that connect them to the whole world. Okay, so our journey kicks off right at week 13. This is where that connection between mother and baby gets so much deeper as the baby starts to experience the world in ways they never have before. So here's a little roadmap of what we're going to cover. We're going to follow this incredible journey week by week, hitting all these huge milestones. From the first time they hear sounds, all the way to that critical point of viability. Trust me, every single week brings a new and amazing chapter. So at week 13, something absolutely amazing happens. Your baby's vocal cords are forming and, get this, for the very first time, they can actually hear your voice. This huge milestone also happens right as the placenta completely takes over hormone production, which is a big reason why mom suddenly starts to feel so much better. And check this out. Those little movements you might see on an ultrasound, they're not just random twitches. Your baby is actually practicing how to frown and squint. It's their nervous system getting a workout, building up all the muscles they're going to need for feeding and breathing and, communicating once they're born. The outside world is really starting to filter in now. By week 15, their skin is still super thin and they're becoming sensitive to light. So if you were to shine a flashlight on your belly, they might actually move away from it. Plus, their taste buds are developing, so the flavors in your food, they can actually change the taste of the amniotic fluid. You're giving them their very first taste of dinner. All right, so the next few weeks are all about making real, tangible connections. This is when the baby's movements might be felt for the very first time, and their body develops this really fascinating way of protecting itself. These first little movements are often called flutters, and they can be really subtle. It might just feel like a little bubble popping. As the baby's heart gets stronger, pumping more and more blood, their movements start to get a bit more defined. And at the same time, of course, mom's body is adapting, which can sometimes lead to some back pain as her center of gravity starts to shift. The baby's little world is getting a whole lot louder. By week 18, their ears are in their final position, which means they can clearly hear all those internal sounds. Your heartbeat, your stomach growling, their soundscape is becoming way more complex. Okay, this next one is kind of weird, but also totally amazing. Around week 19, the baby develops this waxy white coating all over their skin. It's called vernix caseosa. Think of it like a natural waterproof lotion that protects their super delicate skin from getting all wrinkly in the amniotic fluid. You can sometimes even see it on babies right after they're born. And now we arrive at a really big one, a major checkpoint in the entire pregnancy journey. Week 20 isn't just another week, it's the halfway mark, and it brings one of the most important checkups of all. 50%. 20 weeks down, 20 more to go. This is a huge psychological milestone, right? It's a moment to really pause and appreciate just how far you've come. And now that your baby is about the size of a banana, they're finally big enough for a super detailed look. This week is all about the anomaly scan, which is this crucial ultrasound that gives a really comprehensive checkup on how the baby is doing. Yeah, this scan is so much more than just getting a cute picture. A sonographer carefully looks at everything, the heart, the brain, the kidneys, and they check for certain conditions. They also look at the placenta and the amniotic fluid levels. It's all designed to be a roadmap so doctors can plan for any special care if it's needed. And yep, this is often when parents can find out if they're having a boy or a girl, if they want to. As we move into the next phase, we are approaching what is, without a doubt, the single most important milestone of the entire trimester. This is the point where survival outside the womb actually becomes a possibility. At week 21, the baby's taste buds are totally working. They're swallowing amniotic fluid all the time, and they can taste the flavors from your meals. And what's really interesting is that some studies suggest that exposing a baby to lots of different flavors in the womb might make them less picky eaters later on. So, maybe now's the time to try that spicy curry. Of course, while all this amazing stuff is happening with the baby, mom's body is continuing to change in some pretty major ways. Stretch marks might start showing up, and a little bit of swelling in the feet and ankles is super common. A really simple tip for that is just to put your feet up for about 20 minutes a day. Back pain, trouble sleeping, it's all part of the process as the body makes room for this new life. And that brings us to week 24. This week marks a profound shift. It is a moment of hope, it's a testament to modern medicine, and it's all defined by one critical word. This is the viability milestone, and what that means is, if a baby were born now, they would have a chance of survival with a lot of help in a neonatal intensive care unit. The key thing that makes this possible is a substance called surfactant, which is now being produced in their lungs. Basically, this stuff keeps all the tiny little air sacs in the lungs from collapsing, which allows them to take those first crucial breaths. All right, we are on the home stretch of this golden phase. These last few weeks are all about putting on the finishing touches as both the baby and the mother get ready for the third and final trimester. So let's look at what's happening side by side. In week 25, the baby's busy adding fat to stay warm, while mom is probably discovering that pregnancy pillows are her new best friend. Then, week 26, this is incredible, the baby opens their eyes for the very first time. For moms with Rh-negative blood, this is also when they'll likely get a shot called Rogum to protect the baby. And by week 27, if you feel those little rhythmic taps, yep, that's hiccups. It's actually a great sign that their diaphragm is developing perfectly, and it officially marks the end of the second trimester. So as we wrap up this journey through the golden phase, just think about how much has changed. The baby can hear, see light, taste, and feel. A unique little person is growing, and that bond is already so strong. The big question now is, how will this incredible foundation prepare them for the final demanding journey of the third trimester?